Tabs McCaffrey here from the Urban Goddess Shop. Today I'm coming at you with a video, and this one is a doozy. I'm sharing my 5 tips that I wish I knew when I started reselling, because listen, there's like lots of things that you learn over the months, over the listings, over all the daily tasks. I feel like I could share this with you and it might help you with where you are right now. Okay, let's get this started. Number 1 is searching comparison prices. So you're gonna hear people say, search comps, know your comps, know what things are selling for. When I first started, I didn't even really search comps. I just like sourced and listed items. And if you're like me, you probably feel a little discouraged when your items are selling like $15 to $20. You're just barely making a profit and you feel like you're not getting ahead. I've been there. I know what it feels like. So I'm going to tell you right now, search your comps. It's super simple. No matter which app you're using, you can search solds and see what similar items are selling for. So what I like to do is I will actually go into a category. Say I'm gonna go into jeans. I'm gonna narrow the prices down, and what I like to do is jeans that are maybe selling 25 to 50 and 50 to 100. You can tick off multiple boxes. On eBay, you can also search solds and then kind of filter it by price as well. Then you'll get an idea of what's selling in that price range. Where do you wanna be? What kind of items? It also gives you a list of brands. So what I'll do is I'll put a list in my phone of brands that I should be looking for. These brands are there, but I just didn't know about them, so I'm overlooking them when I'm sourcing. This just helps you kind of get you into that price range. What I also like to do is sometimes at night in bed, I'll spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes before I go to sleep and take a look at comps. I'll pick different categories, set a price range of what I'm hoping to be in, and look at the different brands. What are the top brands? Look at the top 200 items that sold in that category in that price range. Which brands should you be looking for? Which current styles should you be looking for? And I'm not saying you can't sell anything. Like, that is not the only thing that is selling. Because if you take a look at my closet, we're selling everything and anything. But that generally gives me an idea of if I pass that in the store, I'm gonna grab it. Okay, let's get on to tip number 2. This only applies to probably Depop and Poshmark, but it's sharing your closet or sharing your items. So you should be sharing 3 to 5 times a day. I know it seems like a lot, but listen, you're here because you want to get consistent sales, because you want to make money on whichever app that you are selling on. And I'm going to tell you right now, sharing is key. And it's not just randomly sharing. I strategically share, right? So you want to share at key times. What I like to do is I share in the morning, I share at lunch, I share after supper, and then I kind of pay attention to likes and app activity. If I notice there's a lot of people sharing my items or liking my items, I'm gonna get on and share my closet once more. I usually find the peak time to be sharing, I don't know, it's so weird. It like depends on the day, but generally it's after 6 p.m. I do find when you share late at night, tends to work too. I don't know if you're a night owl and that you're up late at night, but depending which time zone you're in, like if you're living out on the East Coast, your midnight is only like 8 o'clock, right? Out on the West Coast. You definitely want to make sure you're sharing at various times throughout the day. I like to use Poshmark or Depop app activity for when I should be doing it. Now with Depop, you just need to refresh your listings. You go in, you tap edit, and you hit save. And what it does is it just kind of bumps your item up into the feed. Makes sense? Okay, so let's keep moving on. Next tips, and this is like, if I could tell everyone one thing that I think has a huge impact in your sales or on your sales is your photos. Put an effort into your photos. If you're gonna put max effort anywhere, take great photos. It doesn't take anything fancy. I literally have a 3M hook on a tan wall in my dining room. That's it. Nothing fancy. That is it. But I have some good natural lighting. I have some kind of sheer blinds that I can pull down to prevent direct sunlight. I don't know, it works, but if you can get a nice spot like that, maybe you're using lighting. Maybe you don't have the option for natural lighting, which is totally cool. Maybe you're using artificial lighting. make sure you have artificial lighting that you can adjust the tones, because what you want is a mix between cool and warm, and then you want to be able to dim or brighten it, because if you have a super bright white light, you know what it does to your clothes? It just makes them look really washed out, and you don't want that. You want people to see the depth of the item and the texture of the fibers. You know, like those kind of details really sell an item. I took the first probably 1,000 pictures on my iPhone 10. So definitely not the newest phone, but it worked. I think before that I was also using an iPhone 8, and again, taking good pictures. You don't need a fancy camera, you just need the good lighting and make sure you're taking them clear. Okay, that is tip number 3. Photos, those are like a must. Okay, tip number 4, keywords. Are you putting keywords, and I'm not just any keywords, but the right keywords in your listings? Keywords are what people are searching for. No matter what app you are selling on, you need to use the right keywords. So how do I get the right keywords? Super simple. I use Google Lens. I'm going to kind of go through a tutorial on that. Pay attention right now. So I'm going to open up the app. Google Photos is what you want to download. And I know this is going to pop up in Google Lens. Let me find where it is. This dress. So it was a Torrid dress I just thrifted. And I want to know what is the brand and the style and what kind of words should I be using with it. Easy. When you tap that little circle on the bottom, I'm going to put a little screenshot of which one. You want to tap that. When you tap it, Google Lens is going to do its magic. It's going to look over the item and it's going to tell you what it is. So this is the teal and orange floral chaise drawstring, and I can tap on it, open it up in Safari, mini dress, and then it'll also let you tap into the website. Now this was an easy one because this is a pretty recent style, but I find this works for a lot of different items. Let's pick something that was a little bit different. Oh gosh, guys, you're getting to see all my photos right now. This dress, I wasn't sure what to use for keywords for it, so I'm going to press that button. I'm going to let Google Lens do its magic. And this is a vintage. This is a paisley belted dress. You could do fabric type rayon, floral paisley. You can go further down, and this is a maxi dress. It was pleated. You see how I'm getting all these awesome keywords just from one search? Okay, I'm gonna back out of there. That is just a general idea. It's super easy. Download the app. Google Lens is like my savior. This is how I know all these keywords. And the more you do these and the more you list and the more keywords that you have adding into your brain filing cabinet, the easier it gets when you're listing. I'm kind of at the point where a lot of times I know which keywords I'm looking for now because I've searched literally like, I don't know, almost 2,000 items. So I kind of have an idea. It'll get easier. I promise, stick with it, but use Google Lens to help you out. And the last, and probably one of my favorites that has had a huge impact on my business, is having a system. What do you do, like from thrifting to inventory to listing to photography? What are you doing? I like to be efficient. If I compare what I was doing today to what I was doing, last June when I first started on Poshmark, it's quite different. And if I look at how many listings, like I used to struggle to get 5 or 8 listings. I mean, that was a really busy day for me, but I was all over the place. I'm pretty strategic now. So when I bring items in, what I like to do is kind of hang them all up, put them into categories, so like tops, jackets, dresses, things like that. Make sure I steam everything. I kind of steam everything together, hang it on my little rack. If you don't have a hanging rack, what you can do is get one of those, you know what I mean? They hang on the back of like your bathroom door to hang towels. You can pick them up at Dollar Tree. I have them literally on every door in my house. I'll also use one of those. So you can steam them, stack them, kind of hang them on that little door hanger, and then you're ready to go with your photography. Now, one of the tricks that I do with photography is I take the same pictures. I'm gonna pop up a tutorial. This is a really good one that I did on photo editing as well, but I'm gonna pop it up here. So when I take pictures, I always take the same pictures. I take a front picture, I take a back picture, I take like a corner shoulder, I take a bottom, and any tags. That's it. Usually anywhere from 5 to 7 pictures. I have all the contents and all the details of the item, and that is good enough, but they are the same. I don't have to think about it. When I go to take photos, it's like click, 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 flip, click, click, find the tags, click, 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 done. I know what I'm doing. Do that. Have a system, same pictures. You don't need to do any fancy photography when you're taking pictures of your items. And I kind of do batches, right? So I'll photograph everything. Then I'm gonna list and inventory everything. Then I'm gonna take up my IKEA bags up to my storage room and I'm gonna put everything away. And sometimes I'm doing like 2 IKEA bags worth of stuff. That's okay. I do everything in batches and I have processes. I don't have to think. What I can do then is focus on my keywords and my listings. Does that make sense? I hope I've given you some gems and some tips for your reselling business. And if you're just starting out, these are just some ideas. Everyone does something different. If you have any additional tips that you want to add, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear. Help your fellow resellers out. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I hope you found value in this content. Thank you for tuning in and watching and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. Starting to kind of get into the swing of all this and getting confident and comfortable on camera, which is like difficult. I don't know, it's a little bit hard to throw yourself out there. But anyways, I hope you have a wonderful week and I'll see you next time. Bye.